Did you know that for this movie, while being distributed by a major studio, Warner Brothers, Trap was allowed to resume filming under an interim agreement during the SAG-AFTRA strike, as M. Night Shyamalan independently finances his own films. So, I was really looking forward to seeing this movie. I love M. Night Shyamalan's work. I do have some good things to say about this movie, some bad things to say about this movie. And of course I will save the bad things for the end of the review. So the first thing I liked about this movie is I actually enjoyed the concept. M. Night Shyamalan's really good at coming up with good ideas and concepts, and the whole idea of this concert being a trap is pretty cool. A lot of moving pieces that throughout the movie we figured out how it all actually came together, the whole plan came together, how they even knew the Butcher was going to be at that concert. Fresh ideas from Hollywood is always nice to have, because right now Hollywood does not have many good ideas coming out right now, but having M. Night Shyamalan in his brain is constantly coming up with new ideas and concepts and stuff to just draw people in. It's something I really enjoyed from this movie. The performances in this movie were pretty great. Josh Hartnett did a great job in this movie. I'm not familiar with who he is, honestly. I know a lot of people were excited that he's going to be in this movie, and apparently he hasn't acted for a while. But he's back on the big screen, and a lot of people were just really excited to see him take on kind of a unhinged, psychologically disturbed character as the Butcher, Cooper the Butcher. And yeah, he definitely brought a really great just energy and great presence to the screen. I mean, I found it interesting that the trailer gave away right away who the Butcher was. Like, I was kind of expecting a bigger plot twist than that, but they right away said, like, Josh Hartnett's character, Cooper, is the Butcher. I'm like, oh, well, now that we know that, I guess now we're going to be, now we're more invested in him trying to get away and trying to escape. Just a lot of things that made me think during the movie, like, how is he going to get out? Is he just going to leave his daughter behind? I mean, I knew it wasn't going to end well for at least the relationship he had with his daughter and his family, but just like all the different ways he had to think of how to get out of the concert was so much fun to see. You're in it with him. Like, you want him, in a way, like, you want him to escape. I mean, he's a serial killer, and you find yourself, you're kind of cheering for the bad guy to get out of the concert and make it out without being caught. Tension was great too. I mean, it just kept kind of getting trickier and trickier for him to get out. Like, he figured out one way to get out, and then he had to improvise a lot in this movie of how to get away from all the police and the SWAT teams, which there were like hundreds of them. Just super cool, super fun to see just how his mind was working, how he was trying to remain calm during all this. There were times when, like, he's looking a little too suspicious. Like, he's got to calm down a little bit because he's looking like a guy who's about to do something stupid. It went pretty much how I thought it would go. So what I didn't like about this movie, I thought it started really strong. Like I said, I love the concept. I thought the whole movie was going to be centered on this concert. I didn't think they were going to leave the concert venue at any point. I honestly think once they left the concert venue and, went back to Cooper's home, I think it lost some of that energy. It lost that momentum. It kind of fell apart. It still held on somewhat, but it was just average. I would have preferred it to all be at the concert venue, because that's what I thought it was going to be. I thought it was all concert venue and nothing else, but it wasn't. That was only part of it, and then the other part was at his home and his family, and how Lady Raven was actually quite clever with some of the moves she was doing there. And then I thought it was a little weird that they were focusing a lot on one character, Dr. Grant, who's the really old lady profiler. Cool fact, so that's Hayley Mills. So I don't know if any of y'all remember the original Parent Trap from 1961. Hayley Mills played the twins. I honestly thought she was dead, but apparently she's still alive, and she was in this movie, and it was really cool to see Hayley Mills. But the focus on this character was a little weird. I don't think it really added anything to the story. I mean, it was cool that it added a little more tension. Like, it's almost like if Cooper looked at this profiler lady, she would know instantly that he was the Butcher. But I mean, she was definitely helping out SWAT and the police force there. Like, she basically knew all of his moves, right? So I mean, she was important to a certain degree, but they showed her way too much. It was kind of offsetting. It kind of pulled me out of the movie every time like they would show her on screen or whatever. Like, I honestly didn't think she was that important of a character, but for some reason this movie chose to really focus on her character like she was some all-knowing lady who would know exactly how to catch the butcher. I was a little let down by it. I think I had a little bit too high hopes for it, but overall it's still a good movie to see. If you like M. Night Shyamalan's work, go see this movie. It's just a fun movie to see with family and friends. So for Trap, I'm going to give it a 6.5 out of 10 Mudflaps. Remember, leave me a thumbs up and drop in the comments below. What is your favorite M. Night Shyamalan movie? See you next time.